Some freak fundamental facts heading into November 3rd US elections, where Joe Biden, the contender for the Democrats, takes on Donald Trump, the current president representing the Republican Party. This is big, guys. So I just wanted to bring you some quick facts. So at the moment, Joe Biden is leading by a fairly decent margin in the polls, but Trump has been narrowing in the polls, okay? So it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Now, a few weeks ago, fair few weeks ago, I did a webinar on the US elections, okay, where things have shifted quite drastically. I was noting how Joe Biden at the time that I did that, was seen as to markets as more uncertainty, a bit more risk off for the markets if he won. What do we mean by risk off? Well, sell stocks, sell all the riskier currencies, buy US dollar as a safe haven, buy Japanese yen as a safe haven, just because he was a new leader and no one really knew what sort of policies he was going to come and implement, and just how he would be as a leader. Okay, it's just the uncertainty because he's a new leader, as typically seen with various sort of elections when a new leader comes into play. It's just uncertainty. Now, this all changed not long after I did that webinar, okay? So just bring you the latest now. All changed. Markets are actually started backing Joe Biden, seen as good for risk sentiment, good for market moods. Riskier currencies were rallying. We saw stocks rallying to the upside because Joe Biden made it clear with the Democrats he's going to come in and spend a lot more, trying to stimulate the US economy, help out these businesses, help out consumers, where the Republicans were a bit reluctant on potentially spending this time round, not as much as the Democrats would do. And also Trump made it clear recently that he's still going to be pressing ahead with tariffs on China if he gets that second term. Okay, those 4 more years. So if he's going to be pressing forward with tariffs on China, okay, that's not good for market mood. That's not good for sentiment. We saw how before that had an impact on killing market mood, killing that risk appetite, the rally in riskier currencies, the rally in stocks. It's uncertainty. So Joe Biden, on the other hand, would not be so aggressive with China, it is expected. He'd actually try and look at bettering the relationship with China, So that's good for risk on, risk move, for the riskier assets, stocks, so on and so forth, okay? So let me just summarize that. The latest, as the markets have seen it. Joe Biden, as you would have seen, riskier currencies, stocks were rallying, okay, the past few weeks. Joe Biden, because of that clear margin that he's seen as more good for riskier assets, for stocks, so on and so forth. Trump seen as a negative because may not spend as much as the Democrats, and he'd pursue tariffs with China, and Joe Biden wouldn't, okay? So dollar positive for Trump, dollar negative for Biden. Now, what's going to happen in terms of reaction? Just my view here, potentially, guys. I see, I've made this clear over the past few weeks with the freak community. I've made it clear that potentially the dollar is in a really strong position. Because if Joe Biden wins, remember Trump made it clear he's going to contest it. He's going to contest it, which will spark a whole lot of mess and uncertainty. And when there's mess and uncertainty, what do? We go into safe havens. We go into dollar, we go into yen, we go into Swiss franc. We sell all the risky currencies. We sell stocks just because of the uncertainty. This happened in 2000 when Al Gore was up head-to-head with George Bush Jr. Okay, so we've seen this contested before and the mess that it can cause. So if Joe Biden wins, perhaps we don't initially see all that, what the markets have already been pricing, all that riskier assets and the riskier currencies rallying. Instead, we sell off. Dollar rallies, okay, on uncertainty. But then say Trump wins. Dollar rallies anyway because of, just the uncertainty. They might not spend as much in terms of the fiscal stimulus, as I explained that the Democrats were set to do, Joe Biden. And then Trump said he's going to look at tariffs on China. So dollar thrives in that scenario. So it's almost like the dollar, in my view, just has quite a decent chance, a decent platform to extend and continue to the upside. And obviously it's all been benefiting from the COVID cases that have been rising across Europe and the UK of all these lockdowns. So that's just my take, just some quick freak fundamental facts. Just my view. Let's see what happens. It's going to be a lot of volatility. I've been getting a lot of messages. Should I be trading during this time? Well, I still am because my fundamentals still are tiny in my technicals, but I'm trading on reduced risk, guys. Half risk right now because it's very volatile, right? It could be swinging in both ways. It's very, very volatile. Safe trading, guys. Let's have an amazing week. Stay lit, baby. Let's get it.